Rothman Tech-Tips here. I'm excited to have MJ Murphy on the line with me again today. MJ and I are old friends. MJ used to work at Microsoft, and back in October, we did a vlog on Windows 8. So we came up with the idea, let's get back on Rothman Tech-Tips, let's record a video and talk about Windows 8 6 months after the fact. You know, there's been some negative PR out there, and from what I'm hearing, there's a new release update called Code Blue. MJ, please talk to us about Windows 8 Code Blue. Everyone wants to know what's coming.
So, Matt, it's codenamed Blue, right? Although Code Blue might be more appropriate, right? What's a Code Blue? A Code Blue is a call for a crash cart. It means the patient's dying, right? We got to resurrect this guy. And that's what I'm certain the folks at Microsoft are hoping that Windows 8.1, codename Blue, will do. When we think about, now you said there's been some negative reaction to Windows 8. Well, brother, PC sales are off 14%. The biggest, last quarter PC sales were down 14%. That's the biggest single quarter drop in PC sales that we've ever charted. And a lot of the blame for that fall off is with Windows 8, the operating system. And I think that there's a number of reasons for that. Although I do think that PC sales are going to continue to slide. We are certainly living in the post-PC age. And more we're going to see devices, right? Handheld devices, tablets, smartphones, and just a panoply of new devices coming to market. And the reality is that Microsoft's Windows 8 was an attempt to play in that space, right? In that touch screen, tablet, smartphone space. The problem was that they kept that same touch screen interface that is great on a tablet or a smartphone on the desktop. And not only on the desktop, but on the server operating system. And I'll tell you, the arrogance of Microsoft on this point is just beyond belief. I had an IT evangelist at a conference tell me to get over it, the design change, right? That I would get used to it. Get used to it? Get used to a touch screen interface for my servers that are headless, that I manage via RDP connections, where I can't take advantage of any of that touch screen. That's ludicrous. Ludicrous. Microsoft in Windows Blue it looks like, the rumor is, now we don't know for sure, today we should see it for the first time, today, the day we're recording, in San Francisco is Microsoft's Build Conference. That's a developer conference. And legitimately, since Windows 8 has premiered, right? Windows 8 included a Windows 8 app store, just like the Apple Store, right?
Apple, Android, yeah.
Right, exactly. Just like those competitors have their own app stores, there's an app store for Microsoft apps for Windows 8. And today, there are some 80,000 apps available there. So they're making headway. And if they can sell these developers at the Build Conference today, that this is going to be a platform that they'll be able to sell their software on, that consumer-driven, functional software for these kinds of devices, then we may see a real uptick in applications that are available for Windows 8 Blue. Or Windows 8.1. Commonly we would think of this as a service pack, but Microsoft wants to move away from that terminology because service pack sounds like a fix, right? It has negative connotations. But that's really what it is. It's going to be free for everybody that bought Windows 8. You'll be able to download this update and install it on your Windows 8 machine and get all the new functionality. That functionality will include new and improved methods for managing tiles on the tile screen. It is reported that it will include the option of booting right to a standard Windows desktop rather than a touchscreen tiled desktop. And there is a rumor that the start button will be returned, right? But legitimately, Matt, at this juncture, these are all rumors because nobody's seen this outside of, uh, you know, uh, the Microsoft developers themselves and a few key players.
Well, even if they are rumors, what you speak of sounds promising. A start button. We are all in the Windows world used to a start button. Windows 8, they took it away. We all complained about it. So hopefully in the updates or the service pack or whatever you want to call it, Code Blue, Codename Blue, we're going to get a start button back. So that's big. That sounds promising. Another thing that you mentioned is the touch screen, the tile screen. A lot of us aren't used to that. A lot of us are used to using our mouse. So it sounds like in this new iteration or the new update of Windows 8, we're going to be able to go into just a standard desktop functionality versus the tile touchscreen.
And I think that's the kind of flexibility that the operating system needs to have, right? For my touch devices, I want those tiles. I want to be able to swipe. I want to be able to move around real fast. I don't need a start button there. I think legitimately that's true. But when I'm sitting at the desktop and I don't have that touch screen, I don't want to be using that mouse on those tiles. It's cumbersome and it's hard to get. It gets in the way. Windows 7 was a productivity driver. It drove productivity, right, with that instant search on the start menu, um, and well, and even global search. That's one of the things that's built into Windows 8 now. With 8.1, we're talking about global search capabilities. So not only will I be able to search the device, but the device will also search using Bing, Microsoft's online search provider, and your SkyDrive. So there's that tight integration with your cloud services, right? SkyDrive is Microsoft's online document store. So I can store my documents and files and photos up on SkyDrive, and then I can access them on any device. And we're seeing with 8.1, or the promises with 8.1, an even tighter integration with those cloud services and the delivery of those cloud services. So that's all. Those are all moves in the right direction, I would agree.
Well, that's great news. And, the PR around Windows 8 has been pretty negative. So the fact in this update, the service pack, that they're putting in some things that are going to make us more productive, make us more familiar with our PC desktop environment. One of the things that you talked about was productivity. And if you're a desktop user and you're searching around trying to find your tiles, and that's not going to work. Touch screens, I love my iPad, I love my iPhone, that's fine. But at the end of the day, we're on the desktop. We want to go back to the way we're used to working, with the start button, leveraging our mouse, leveraging some of the productivity tools that you talked about in Windows 7 or some of the earlier operating systems that Microsoft provided for us. So this sounds great.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, right? Microsoft has certainly had a PR nightmare with Windows 8, even though they claim to have sold 100 million licenses. Those sales still lag Windows Vista at the same point in its development, and Vista was thought to be, the least well-received release of operating systems since Windows Millennium, if you remember that.
Oh yeah. No, and yeah, you're right. And you made a good point earlier where, PC sales are down. You talked a little bit about maybe it's Windows 8, but another piece is the tablet age. Everyone loves their tablets. Everyone loves their iPads or whatever type of tablet they have. When you're in the market for a new computer or a new device, just want to search the internet, play around at home, you're going to buy a tablet now where you used to buy PCs.
And and most people don't need any more, you know,
Yeah.
because they're consuming electronic media on those devices, right? We see this, this convergence of media delivered via the ubiquitous broadband connections that we've all come to count on. So today I don't watch TV anymore, right? I watch Netflix. I don't listen to the radio, I listen to Pandora. And so I want a device that's going to deliver those experiences for me. And the vast majority of Americans, that's what they're looking for when they go home at night. Now, in the office, I think you need something different. And so I think just having the ability to go to a standard desktop, just boot into a standard desktop environment is going to be a big deal. And as I
Well
say,
said.
today, thank you. And today, the 26th of June 2013, in San Francisco at the Build Developer Conference, the first peek at this thing is happening. The beta release is due to happen soon, and then we should see it shipped to market. Maybe nobody really knows, Matt, but maybe late August, September, somewhere in that time frame.
Very nice. And the standard desktop. That's what we all want. That's what's going to make us the most productive in our office. So you hit it right on the head. Hopefully that's one of the updates, one of the service patch, whatever it is that you or I or any old school PC user can just go to the standard desktop. They don't have to use a touchscreen or the tiles or this or that. We just want to be able to work the way we're used to working. So, okay, well that's awesome. So the the developers conference is this week. It goes into beta soon. When can just someone who bought Windows 8, when can they expect to be able to do this update?
Probably within three months or so. Probably with maybe late August, maybe September, maybe a little bit later. But
Excellent.
probably sometime in the early fall, if not before
Okay.
summer's end.
All right. Well, MJ, this was awesome. I'm glad we could kind of get back on the vlog again, talk about Windows 8. I remember back in October, you and I were like, let's do it. Let's do a video about Windows 8. Let's get it out there. And you were right on the money. This is exactly what you talked about. You talked about the standard desktop users are going to have problems. They're going to have issues with Windows 8, and you were spot on. And my audience and I, we commend you for just calling it like it is.
Thanks, brother.
So before I let you go, we got to do the I don't cook portion of the vlog here. To all the audience out there, MJ's from Scranton, Pennsylvania. The office, Scranton, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, the office it came to a glorious ending, but we're going to have MJ here to give us a great restaurant recommendation in Scranton, PA. What do you got for us, MJ?
Just right outside of Scranton in Clark's Summit is one of my favorite restaurants, Formosa. It's an Asian fusion place with some
Ooh.
French influence.
Ooh.
The place is incredible. The food is incredible, and it. Now here's what you do: if you really want to have the full experience, bring a Granny Smith apple with you to the restaurant. Take that. Now, this is why. Michael, the chef, used to make an apple and crispy duck salad that
Ooh.
was, oh man, it's incredible. But they don't offer it anymore. So I always but I love that salad. I take an apple with me and I ask them to make it, and he's always happy to make it. Always, because he's got everything in the kitchen all the time, guaranteed, except the Granny Smith apples. So I bring the Granny Smith apple, crispy duck salad with Granny Smith apples. It's incredible.
I love it. The off the menu food recommendation. That's what I want to hear. That's what my audience wants to hear. The off the menu. So it's Formosa in Clarksville, Formosa in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania. It's an Asian fusion with a little French tied into it. MJ, this is right up my alley. This is what I Don't Cook is all about. We want to hear about these type of restaurants and these off-the-menu food items. So this was great. MJ, thank you so much for coming on the program. We're going to have to reconvene in another 3 months or whenever it is, whenever that update comes out, and do another Windows 8 vlog. So, MJ, thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.